Welcome to BigCountryPreps.com. I'm Evan Wren, and this is the Countdown to Two-A-Days series, our daily look at an area football team and the key questions we're going to be answering about that team and our August 16th preseason preview here at Big Country Preps. I'm with my partner, Dan Youngblood, via Zoom. And tonight, Dan, we're taking a look at the Clyde Bulldogs.
Yeah, this is a Clyde team that made some strides last year. They struggled in district, went 0-5, but finished 4-6. Got off to a really nice start in non-district, was very competitive in several losses early in district play, and then finished up 4-6 in Coach Danny Dudgeon's second year. They're going to be looking for improvement this year. 25 of their 38 Letterman return, including 7 starters on both sides of the football. Among those, a really good quarterback in Blake Carr. So a pretty good group back. I know they're going to be hoping to make some positive strides, get back into the playoffs this year, and it'll be interesting to see if they can do that. We'll be talking about some of the questions that will kind of determine that here in just a few minutes, but it should be a fun season in Clyde this year.
Before we get going on our look at the Clyde Bulldogs, I want to remind you, YouTubers, to please hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button and then hit that little bell that pops up after you hit that. That way you'll receive notifications every time we have a new podcast here on Big Country Preps. You'll receive the notifications through YouTube. That'll make it very easy for you to follow along with our Countdown to Two-A-Days series, which will take a look at one area team per day, counting it down all the way to the outset of Two-A-Days, which start on July 31st.
All right, well, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's talk about this Clyde team. Like I said, they went 4-1 in non-district play last year, struggled in the second half of the season, but it was a little deceiving. They were very competitive early in district, had some injuries, kind of derailed things a little bit late. But my biggest question is just, and this was kind of related to the point I just made, is the return of Blake Carr at quarterback as a senior. This is a dynamic player, a really good dual threat quarterback, a really good leader. I'm just interested to see how big of an impact can he have this year if he can stay healthy and be that guy all year long. If they can't make some really positive movement record wise this year, I think that this could be the year they do that. They've got a good senior class. He's kind of at the head of it. How far could Blake Carr take them this year?
One question I'd have for Clyde is if they fully realize how close they were to being a playoff team last year. They were 4-1 coming out of non-district, and they jump into a tough district. They have a 2-score loss to Vernon. They have a 1-score loss to Jim Ned. They have a 1-score loss to Bowie, and then the injury bug hit, and then they got some lopsided losses to Iowa Park and Breck. But this club was so close those first 3 games, and this year they just need to go in and realize that they were that close. And if they can, we may see something special happen in Clyde, something surprising.
Yeah, and along those lines, this is a good senior-led team. They've got experience. Along those lines, how much can they kind of play that into their favor? And if they come into the season with that chip in their shoulder, knowing they were that close. This was, like you said, a team that wasn't far, not only from competing for a playoff spot, but from competing for a number 2 seed. They weren't that far off. I mean, they played Jim Ned as well as anyone last year at their height. So I think if this Clyde team can come in, with a point to prove, with a chip on its shoulder, I'm interested to see kind of how far it can take it, because they do have some offensive talent, in particular, some really good skill players. You talked about Blake Carr, Dejon Booker is a receiver with a lot of talent. Jacob Louder. They've got some kids. Luke Burson at the running back position. They've got some kids who can be playmakers. I think it's going to be a little bit of a mentality thing. They've got to get that confidence and take that confidence into this season and be ready to compete. And I'm excited to see if they can.
All right, let's take a quick look at Clyde's schedule for 2023. Season opener against Cisco at home on August 25th, a road date at Eastland on September 1st, followed by another road date at Merkel on September the 8th. They host Ballinger on the 15th, and then they are at Sweetwater on the 22nd. And I do like that non-district schedule for Clyde. It gives them opportunities to gain some early confidence, get some wins before heading into district. They do have an open date on the 29th before heading into league play.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good schedule for them. Some other teams that are kind of in that rebuild mode, opportunity to get some wins, which I think they're going to need some confidence going into what should be a good district. They open with a tough road date at Vernon on October 6th. Turnaround right after that, play Jim Ned at home, and it'll be another tough game. Then they go on the road on October 20th for really a must-win if they want to make the playoffs this year at Bowie. Then they travel to Iowa Park the following week before wrapping up district play at home against Breckenridge. This is a pretty unforgiving district, particularly for a team that's trying to kind of right the ship. This is not the easiest district to try to fight for a playoff spot in, but I think if Clyde can make the strides that they're hoping to, that they'll be right in the thick of that. I think they showed last year how close they were. I think they have an opportunity this year if they can win those key games to get back into the postseason. Should be interesting.
All right. And with that, it's about time to wrap up tonight's edition of the Countdown to Two-A-Days series, the Clyde Bulldogs. But before we do that, we want to remind you that we have our on August 16th, that's the big day here at Big Country Preps when we release our annual preseason football preview. We'll have more than 40 team previews for 11-man, plus a 6-man preview as well. We'll have more than 40 player features. We'll have stats. We'll have columns. We'll have predictions. And we believe that our predictions are the most accurate for our area from any media source. And it should be. It's our turf.
All right. In the
Don't forget
meantime,
to sign up August 16th.
Yeah. In the meantime, we appreciate you joining us for this episode of our Countdown to Two-A-Days series. And make sure you come back tomorrow when we will be talking about the Gymned Indians here at BigCountryPreps.com.